Seems like all you're hearing about these days when it comes to new cars is new subcompact hatch from this manufacturer, new compact luxury CUV from this manufacturer, or more recently, new subcompact crossover from this manufacturer. People like them because they often have funky styling, they're affordable, they have cool interior bits and tech, maybe some zippy handling, maybe a turbocharged engine, and that's all great. But what if you're of, taller or bigger ilk? Can you live with one of these on a day-to-day basis? What if you want to move your family around? To find out, me and my 6'3", 220 some odd pound frame are going to have a look at a string of these and kind of see what they are like to live with day to day. So please join me in the first video of the Big Guy Small Car series on the Dan the Wheelman YouTube channel as we have a look at the 2020 Toyota CHR Subcompact crossover. So, moment of truth. What's the entrance and egress like? No problem at all. Even though there's less headroom here than there is in the Corolla hatch, it's not a lot. I'm fine in here, and I'm actually really surprised. There's no sunroof, no available sunroof even, so that obviously gives you a little more headroom, but lots of room even with my big guy hat on here. It's not a problem. Nice view out over there. All the controls are obviously going to be very easy to reach because this is not a big car. This gear lever is a little on the stubby side. I find it a little awkward to get my hand there. My hands aren't even that big. You can kind of compare it to this Coke can here. If you had bigger hands, I'd be worried that you kind of have a little bit of issues with that. But otherwise, everything else is nice and easy to reach. I'm comfortable. The steering wheel tilts and telescopes, which is great, which is another cool feature to have. So yeah, I'd be happy up here. I'd be happy up here for sure. I could take longer drives up here. The seat's quite comfortable. And I'm surprised. Yes, the foot box here, the footwell is a little narrow. I'd like a little more space, but at least there's no big, huge outcroppings here causing problems for me. We'll see what happens when I start driving and I start to move around the cockpit a little bit. That'll be interesting to see, but otherwise, pretty good. As I'm sure we'll see in the back seat too, there is quite a lot of plastic up here, plastic here, although it's got a bit of a soft touch kind of layer there. This looks different, but still plastic. It's plastic down here. Center console has some nice piano black, which is good, except for it's kind of a bit of a dust magnet. So yeah, some cost saving measures, but I got the leather seats. That's one of the things you get when you go to the limited trim like I have here. So that's nice. So yeah, it's not bad up here. I can't believe I can keep this hat on. I thought for sure I have to take it off, but I don't. I could leave this hat on and be perfectly comfortable in the front seat of the CHR. Before we get to talking about the comfort of the back seat, I want to talk about the rear door handles, which are awesome. They're hidden in the pillar, kind of right against the roof, to kind of give it that coupe look. A bit awkward to operate at first, but eventually got the hang of it, and it was just really, really cool. So what's it like back here? Well, I have to say, I'm impressed. This seat is adjusted for my big guy frame, but my knees, they are against it, but they're not jammed up into my chest. Nice low-mounted seat, so I've got headroom too. Yes, my hat will hit the headliner, but pull that off, and you're good to go here. There's more headroom back here than there is in the Corolla hatch. Less legroom, more headroom. And so that's awesome. The only thing is, these are very small windows to start off with, and if you were sitting any lower than I am, you'd have a hard time seeing out of them. Also a hard time seeing forward because of these big headrests here. So someone with motion sickness might want to keep that in mind. But overall, it's nice back here. It's also good for actually installing a car seat and getting your kid in there once it's done. I thought that would be really tough thanks to the super swoopy roofline, but that low floor again makes it low lift over height for your kid too. So getting my 2.5-year-old in here wasn't a problem whatsoever. There is a lot of plastic back here though. Plastic here, though it looks a little bit different. Plastic down here, and this one's especially bad right on the door, on the armrest here, because I've struck my knee on that a few times getting in and out of here. But there is cup holders, but that's really all you'll get in the way of creature comforts back here. No armrest, no vents, no plug-in for your device, none of that back here, so keep that in mind. But overall, a comfortable place to sit for the big guy or gal in your life, or for you if you happen to be a big guy or gal. Now, what about storage? Oftentimes, of course, rear seats are used to store longer items. Happy to report, quite well thought out as well. Just flip this lever on the shoulder of the seat and it goes down. No need to remove the headrest, no need to move this seat back forward at all, no need to flip down the bottom cushion to get it down full and flat. Just one shot and it's done. Nice flat load surface here for longer items. You can tell Toyota did their homework when it came time to consider, design, and engineer the rear seat of the CHR. Now, being able to ride around in one of these comfortably is one thing, but can you load stuff in it? How about an adult-sized hockey bag and maybe a couple of sticks? Well, let's find out. That's not bad. That goes in nice. That might actually even close once that's in there. Now with the sticks, you can either drop one of the rear seats down, or you can thread them above the tonneau cover, just like this. Let's see if it closes. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Not bad. So, hockey bag loaded, and as you can see, hockey sticks as well. It's time to see what the 2020 Toyota Compact High Rider, whatever, is like out on the road. But first, a note on the styling. As I said before, vehicles in this segment tend to have some pretty outlandish styling. And this right here is like the funkiest of a funky bunch. Make Marky Mark very, very proud. It's crazier looking for sure than any Toyota on sale in Canada. Wilder looking than most subcompact or compact CUVs being sold here. I can't think of any vehicles in general that look as alien as this. What with those crazy headlights that are actually newly styled for 2020, contrast color roof, the way the taillights jut out from the rear fascia, the rear spoiler, the stance, whatever those things up there are. Like, this is a cool looking thing. And I think it fits the segment well. Yeah, I'm sure there are haters out there that will say, oh, that's overstyled, but I disagree. I think they're missing the point if that's what they think. Vehicles in this segment should look like this, and they hit the nail on the head with the CHR. So how does it drive? Well, when you step on it, yeah, you get that familiar drone of a CVT. This is a continuously variable automatic. It's not the trick version either that the Corolla gets. It has a traditional first gear for better launch. It's just a standard CVT. It's your only choice. There's no manual transmission. So the launch is not spectacular, but you do have manual mode. Slap the gear lever to the left, pull down for downshifts, push forward for upshifts. That's great. You're not really shifting gears, just moving through 7 virtual ratios, but it's nice to have that control when you want it. Front-wheel drive only. There are all-wheel drive versions available in other markets, but they come paired only with a 1.2-liter turbo motor that's only good for about 100 horsepower, and Toyota says that's just not enough for North American markets, and I tend to agree with them. We have these big, wide roads here. We like our power. So this is also a four-cylinder. It's a 2-liter, good for 144 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque, which splits the difference between the 1.8-liter powered Corolla and the 2-liter powered Corolla. And it also puts the CHR kind of in the upper echelon when it comes to power amongst the competition. It's got more power than the Hyundai Venue, more power than the Nissan Kicks, more power than the base version of the Ford EcoSport, more torque than the base version of the Hyundai Kona, more power than the Honda HR-V. The only things off the top of my head that make more power than this are the Mazda CX-3 and the Mazda CX-30, the 2-liter version of the Ford EcoSport, the turbocharged version of the Hyundai Kona all make more power, but this is still pretty good. And once you get your additional kind of, I guess, lethargy you have with the transmission, highway passes can be done. It's a little bit loud, but you've got the power on tap to do all that, and that's great. Is not having an all-wheel drive option a problem? Well, you don't really need all-wheel drive this vehicle. It's an urban-centric vehicle. It's not meant to go off-road. You don't really need all-wheel drive, but Canadian buyers, they like the peace of mind and the sense of security you get with an all-wheel drive car or a crossover, and I fully understand that. So do manufacturers, because all those vehicles I mentioned earlier, almost all of them have an all-wheel drive option. The only two top of my head that don't are the Hyundai Venue, the Nissan Kicks. The rest all do, and for the CHR not to have it might cause some people to kind of overlook it. But it has great handling though. The steering is really, really responsive. There's some feel through the wheel. There's not a lot of body roll, even though it is a high rider. And it actually really does drive like kind of like a compact hatchback. I'm not going to go as far as say it's like a hot hatchback, but it's still pretty good. And also, it's actually great in town too. Nice small turning radius, which is great for weaving through traffic and parking there, which is awesome. So I do like the handling, and it rides well. Even with these 18-inch wheels I have, most bumps are taken no problem. Yes, certain kind of harsher bumps, you do sense a bit of brittleness through the chassis there, but it's not a big deal for kind of a short wheelbase tall vehicle like this. So very good ride as well. The 18-inch wheels I mentioned before are actually newly styled for 2020. Also new, like I said, is the front fascia. There's some new colors. This is supersonic red, which looks nice, but I have trouble calling anything associated with the CHR supersonic. This is not a super fast vehicle, but there's also a hot lava orange, so there you go. So there's Android Auto for 2020, which is new. They used to only have Apple CarPlay, now you've got both, but I have to take Toyota's word for it because I've tried plugging in my iPhone and activating Apple CarPlay here, and it hasn't worked. I've tried activating it through the infotainment system as well. No luck there either. My phone won't even charge when I plug it in, which leads me to believe, boy, it's rainy today, which leads me to believe that there's an issue with kind of maybe the fuse or kind of the connection here on this one USB port I have in here. There are no others, and there's no wireless charger either. And aside from having no all-wheel drive, I wonder if a lot of buyers, younger buyers, this kind of vehicle is kind of aimed at, might actually take as equal, if not more, issue with the fact that you don't have wireless charging, you don't have a lot of USB ports, because those type of buyers, they really love their tech. And it's not here. But there are a lot of good features though. You've got dual zone climate control, heated front seats to 3 levels, leather seating, heated windshield, heated steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. You've got a lot of features. This is the limited version though, top trim, about $28,000, so it's going to be loaded, but lots of good features. But all that notwithstanding, we came here to see if this small vehicle works for the big guy or gal in your life, or works for you if you happen to be a big guy or gal. And I have to say, it does. Now that I've driven it a bit and I've been moving around the cockpit through the turns and stuff, my knees still aren't slamming any kind of annoying plastic outcroppings. My air and elbows aren't either. Like, it's very comfortable here. You've got that great headroom still. This is a very comfortable place to be. They've really packaged this CHR well. I have to give them credit for that. So good news, big guys and gals. You want a kind of a cool, like a funky, small crossover? You might be in luck with this. So thanks for tuning into this big guy, small car review of the 2020 Toyota CHR. Next week, I'm in the quintessential opposite of a small car, but I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I have to tune in to see. So thanks for tuning into this. Tune in later this week as well when I'm trying the new Volvo XC60 T8 Polestar engineered crossover, so that should be fun. But thanks for tuning into this one, and until next time. Oh, also, thanks for following me on YouTube, I should say. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. If not, no hard feelings. You can also follow me on Twitter @DadTheWheelman and on Instagram @DadTheWheelman as well. So again, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, adios.